What is up, Sports Geeks? It's your host, Josh, here back with another episode with NFL Draft Prep, joined by Alec. As always, Alec, it's been a minute. We have a mock draft coming soon, but not yet. Today we have our top 10 big board prospects. So this is positional value is thrown out of the books here. This is just how they are as a prospect, right? So some 50, for example, will not be going top 5 in the draft more than likely. I can almost guarantee he's going to be in our top 5 prospects here. So that's kind of just or like somebody like Cam Ward. For me, I'm gonna mention him today. He's in my top 10, but he's likely to go 1 or 2 in the draft. He's not 1 or 2 for me. So having laid that out there, let's go ahead and go in sections of 2. So I'll start with your first 2, Alec. I'll share my first 2, and then we'll go ahead and chat about it.
Yeah, so I'm going Abdul Carter 1, and then Travis Hunter 2.
Yep, same here. And I think this is probably the easiest section of 2 here that we'll go through. Yep. Like Carter, I think he showed enough of a just dominance, especially fighting through injuries in the playoff, in still asserting some dominance. And then obviously Hunter's the unicorn, right? So I think those 2 are easy. I mean, do you think Hunter can be over Abdul Carter here or no?
Depends on how the team that drafts him actually uses him. Like if he's going to play both sides, for sure. Like I think he would be 1. I just don't know if they're going to let him play 100% snaps on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's understandable. And I would agree. I think Hunter's upside is probably the highest out of maybe anybody's, because
I think so too. I know we're not doing positional value, but finding a good edge rusher is hard.
Yes. Yeah.
It's hard to have that bias not kind of creep through.
Yeah, no, it is. And I mean, it's not like it's not like Abdul Carter's shouldn't be. It's not like he's not clearly a top 2 player, right? And we're elevating him from 4 to 1 just because he's an edge, right? But my 3-4 is Genty Mason Graham. I'm curious to yours.
Mine.
Okay,
that's mine.
Okay.
Same thing.
No changes at all yet. So this has probably been a really boring first 4, because I think those are the easy ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's kind of a clear first tier. I'll go ahead and start with my 5-6 then, because this is where I think it actually starts to get interesting. I went with Tyler Warren out of Penn State at 5, and I went Cam Ward at 6. So I think Cam Ward's slowly been climbing on mine. I think if I would have done this a month ago, he probably wouldn't have cracked the top 10. He's been climbing. I also think part of the reason why he's climbing is just a couple of guys up here not climbing, right? Like I look at a guy like Will Johnson, who was clearly a top 10 prospect like 2 months ago, and he can't run the 40 at his pro day because he's injured. Okay, that you're going to fall a little bit. I look at a guy like Will Campbell in his arms, and now you're plummeting down, not plummeting, but you're falling down my board now too. So I think that the increase in Warren and Ward, in all honesty, is almost just due to the decrease of other players in front of them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I think 5 and 6 is a little bit different because like the top 4 is pretty set. But I think with this draft, and like when you look back on other drafts, when you look at the Wikipedia and you say, oh, what would the 2021 draft look like? And you go through and you think of the top 10 players. I'm trying to pick people for my top 10 that I just know are going to be Pro Bowlers. Like there's like a 90% chance. Like I don't know if they're going to be Justin Jefferson, but I know they're going to be good.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I went into this. Like 5, so that's kind of, I'm trying to play with my 5th guy. I'm trying to talk him up a little bit. I'm going Will Campbell.
Okay.
The reason I'm going Will Campbell at 5, I think I know he's going to be a good NFL player. I don't know if he's going to play tackle. I don't know if he's going to play guard. But if you're telling me that Will Campbell is going to be a 6-time Pro Bowl guard, he'll probably finish in the top 10 of this class, like looking like looking back on it.
Yeah. Now I would agree with that. So he's at 5. Who do you have at 6 then?
Yeah. So I have Cam Ward at 6.
Okay. Perfect. So we're Cam Ward, same spot. You have Campbell at 5. I have Campbell at 7. So I agree.
This is pretty much chalk at this point.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't share this before.
No, we have not. No, for anybody watching, I have zero clue who Alec's top 10 were coming into this. I think I have a little bit of. I think we'll have some disagreements here in 8 through 10. But Will Campbell at 7. I completely agree with you. He's going to be a great NFL player. Do I think he's going to be? If I'm drafting him, if we're grading him as a tackle, he's not my top 10. Yeah. But I don't think I'm not grading him as a tackle. I'm grading him as a prospect right here, and he's top 7 for me. Absolutely. I think I could see him. I could see him jumping Cam Ward. I mean, if I could comfortably see him being a better NFL player than Cam Ward. I mean, I think overall.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the floor is way higher.
Yes, yes. But this I mean, Cam Ward's ceiling is obviously extremely, extremely high, but so is Campbell's. I went with another Campbell at 8, actually. I went with Jahad Campbell.
Okay,
I
I was
think
thinking about it.
I this is one that I knew putting him at 8 is high, right? But as a 5-star edge rusher coming out of high school, goes in, makes the transition this past year to an off-ball linebacker and was a stud. He's got sideline to sideline speed. He's very, very good at reading the play. His play rec's great. I just like him overall as a prospect. I think that linebackers are not very valued
Mhm.
typically, right? Like I look at even like a guy like Jack Campbell fell all the way to 18, and he was a spectacular college linebacker.
Yep.
But I think that we don't care about this here. All we care about is him as a prospect. I love Jahad Campbell as a prospect.
Yeah, Jahad Campbell's great. I was thinking about putting him here. I actually put another guy here at 7 that's similar to Jahad Campbell. I put Jalen Carter, geez, Jalen Walker here. Another Jalen from Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put Jalen Walker here. Can play a little bit of off ball. Probably primarily going to play edge in the NFL. Kind of like that Swiss Army knife, can kind of do a little bit of both. Hopefully, he doesn't, become a tweener where he's
Mhm.
kind of in between both, kind of like an Isaiah Simmons, where it's just like, oh, is he going to play safety? Is he going to play nickel? Is he
Yeah.
going to play edge? Is he going to play, Mike linebacker? But I think Jalen Walker's a stud,
Yeah.
and I think he's going to be really good in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then I had Tyler Warren at 8.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that makes sense. I have. I mean, I think we didn't really touch on Warren too much, but Warren's somebody that I mean, I think his upside is high, but I think his floor is probably the
Yeah.
the like comfortable part of this, right? You're getting a tight end that is an extremely physical guy. He's got good hands and he's good after the catch
Yep.
and he's versatile, right?
Yep.
Can he elevate himself and be this Travis Kelsey type route runner? Can he be this George Kittle type of blocker while still having a great obviously being a great receiving threat? That I don't know about, but I do know he's going to be somebody that if you're going to give him targets, he's going to be able to get you 700 to 1,000 yards a year very
Yep.
comfortably. And obviously he's got the potential to go much higher than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like a Sam Laporta type, where it's like,
Yep.
you just know he's going to be good. I don't know if we talked about this on here, but if you take Tyler Warren in the top 10, top 15, he's already like a top 7 paid tight end. So you're
Yep.
not really getting like an advantage from like a paying premium, like a salary premium. So
Right.
if you draft Tyler Warren, I mean, I've seen him mocked to the Jets. I
Yeah.
mean, he would be like the 5th highest paid tight end,
Mhm.
like right away. So you better hope that he's Sam Laporta's rookie season good.
Right. Yeah, and at that point, it's hard to justify taking him over like a tackle, right? Even if
Or
the
an edge
tackle,
rusher.
yeah, a tackle and edge rusher, especially in the edge rushers that are probably going to be available, right? Like Micah Williams didn't quite make my list. Micah Williams is going to be available there at 8 probably. So, yeah, no,
This sounds crazy, and I know you just said tackles and edge rushers, but and this is, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm even gonna say like if a team needs a quarterback like Jackson Dart,
yeah,
like if you're only gonna pay Jackson Dart $7 million a year,
Mhm.
which is 6 times less than an average NFL QB makes after the rookie contract, like I could see a team taking him over Tyler Warren just because of
yes,
positional value. I know we're not doing that here,
yeah,
but Tyler Warren's for sure easily top 5 to 7, 8 player in the draft.
right, yeah, no, I completely agree, and yeah, as crazy as it sounds, right, mentally to say
I'm gonna
that
take Jackson Dart over.
Jackson Dart
Yeah,
over Tyler Warren, but you're completely right. The value of having a quarterback that's making under $8 million a year is insane. And I think that's why you kind of see teams take quarterbacks much higher than they would like to.
yeah,
Once
they're
you get
trying.
to
Yeah,
the
they're
it's at
trying to
the
get.
end of the first round,
Yeah,
right? You can get the
yeah.
fifth year option on him, right?
Well, they're trying to get like the Ravens had the run with Lamar, like when
Mhm.
Lamar was still on his rookie contract. The Bengals with Joe Burrow when their team was stacked.
Yeah. Niners with Purdy.
Commanders with
Yep.
Jaden Daniels. So
Yeah,
it's
they're just
possible to
getting
make
it.
a run
Yeah.
and really make a run out of nowhere.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
the Commanders are in a dangerous situation because they did it in year 1.
yeah,
So like, I mean, commonly you'll see like it takes 2 or 3 years to kind of figure it out, and then you get 2, maybe 3 years of being of saying we figured it out and we have a cheap quarterback right now. The Commanders have figured it out and they have 4 years left of Jaden
yeah.
Daniels on an extremely cheap contract compared to the 60 plus million I'm sure he's going to get a year in 4 years. So,
For sure.
yeah, no, I agree. So I have Walker. I have Jalen Walker
Okay.
at 9. So very similar so far. Obviously, Jahad Campbell, I threw him in there, but Jalen Walker at 9, I completely agree. I hope he's not a tweener. He's very, very, very good though, and I think he's a perfect kind of like Swiss Army knife, like you said, of your defense, right? He can come in, he can play wherever you need him to play. He could play off ball if you need him to, but he's also an elite on ball, edge rusher. I also think that the ability to have an off ball linebacker that understands blitzing at a very high level is very, very valuable. Same thing with Jahad Campbell, right? Of somebody, if you're going to put him off ball, he understands the different concepts at an extremely high level of blitzing. That's going to be really helpful, right? Whether you see it 20 times a game or 3, it's going to be helpful either way. And then I have Will Johnson at 10.
Okay. All right. Will Johnson has been disrespected to me, and I don't understand it. Like, I actually watched some Will Johnson tape, and like, I don't usually watch corner tape, but I'm like, I just wanted to like watch some just to see like, okay, like why are people trashing this guy? I really don't understand. And I understand like the concerns with potentially the injury, maybe the long speed, but he's unbelievable in game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this is kind of like when I talk, like when I listen to certain people, like it's NFL industry people, I mostly listen to, and then I'll listen to like a Joel Klatt do a mock draft, and he talks like Will Johnson is like, elite, like still like a top 6, 7 pick, which he might be talent wise, but I don't think he's going to go that high in the NFL draft. But
No.
Will Johnson is a very good football player. He's a great bet to have in this list.
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, I think he was asked, Will Johnson was asked about the kind of the hate that he's, no, I don't want to say hate, but the disrespect that he's getting in as a prospect. And he's said, I had more touchdowns than I gave up as a corner. That alone, okay, cool. Yeah, that would elevate you very high on my list.
In the Big Ten.
Yeah, in the Big Ten. Yeah, and then I was just about to say, okay, did you play against competition? Yeah, he did. So I just think it's funny. I completely agree with you. The top end speed, maybe he's not going to be able to run 22 miles an hour, but everybody he's played against that is very, very fast, he's just fine against, right? Like he played against USC, Zachariah Branch. You watch him play. That dude is lightning quick. And probably 4.4 speed, right? Easily. I would say easily 4.4 speed, maybe even
4.3s.
Yeah. And Will Johnson, who doesn't possess this top end speed, like clamped him up and had a pick 6 in that game. So I would agree with you. The disrespect I don't think is warranted, but I have him rounding out my top 10 here.
Yeah. And then so I'll kind of go over my top 10, like 9 and 10 for my top 10. So I got T-Mac at 9. I can't get over Teterow McMillan. I know you're not going to like this. I just can't get over it. I always go back to I know it's against New Mexico, but that New Mexico game he had 300 yards.
Yeah.
Every time I watch T-Mac, I just see Mike Evans. And I don't care what anybody tells me. He's going to go in the top like probably 15 of this draft. And I just really hope he goes to a QB that's good, because T-Mac is going to be a guy, even if he's his ceiling is T. Higgins, that's still every year he's going to have 1,000 yards. Yeah. So I think he's just a safe bet to eventually be a top 10-ish player in this draft if he can get in the right system. And then I have Armand Membu at 10. So I got Membu rounding out the top 10. I think he's going to go higher than people think. His arms are like surprisingly long enough to play tackle.
Yes.
Because he's only 6'4". But I really think that Armand Membu really, like, if you look at this, could go over Will Campbell potentially. Like, there's a chance. Because I think Armand Membu, could play guard, probably is going to play tackle. But I think he's just a damn good football player.
Yeah. I think Will Campbell is going to be the better player, but Membu is going to probably play the more premium position, right? So when we're talking about grading them as prospects, like what we're doing today, Campbell's going to be above Membu. But when you're talking about grading them as an NFL draft pick, then I think that's where you could see Membu go above Campbell just because of the sheer value. We know you hit the arm length criteria to be able to play tackle, right? With Campbell, it's like you are the worst tackle to ever exist if we were specifically talking about arm length. Yeah. So we don't think you can play tackle. At least with Membu, it's like, well, maybe we're going to put him at tackle. We think he can play there. If he can't, we know he can play guard. But
Yeah.
with Campbell, it's like you're almost going to be forced to put him at guard, I think.
Yeah, there's only two tackles that have a lower than 33-inch arms in the NFL. It was like Bernard Raymond went to Central Michigan, and then I forget the other one, but yeah, there's only two. And so Will Campbell, his arms were 32 and a half, and then 32 and 7/8, and then magically 33 at the pro day. So it's like I don't know what's going on.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm
And
really,
especially that it happens at the pro day, right? The final
yeah,
one's the pro
exactly.
day.
I don't know how like it's not like the same. Like how do you gain half an inch of your arm length in like a month? Like is he growing? Is he still growing? Like I don't understand what's going on.
He sat there with a rolling pin on his fingers.
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, but think about it. It's worth millions of dollars to him. So like he's probably trying some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I don't doubt it. But I think if we were to do this, so we did top 10. I think if we were to do 15, we would start to see.
I think if we did
discrepancy here.
30, like if we did 10 to 30, it's kind of just like NFL teams. I'm sure their boards from 15 to 45 are just jumbled.
Oh yeah, like I bet you have teams that have players from 15 to 20 that aren't in other teams' top 45.
For sure.
And then you have and vice versa, right? I mean, it's I
would love that if they just released it afterwards. Like I know they
yeah.
can't because like players would see it, but like it would just it'd be so fascinating.
Right. Well, I want to see like even in situations like obviously I'm a Lions fan, but like drafting Jahmyr Gibbs. How high was he on everybody else's? Right? Because when you drafted him, everyone's like, everybody in the mock drafting community was like, oh, this is an overpay, right? I mean, it's exactly what we were saying. This is an overpay. Why would you draft him there? You had to pick like 6 picks later. You could have taken him, and you could have taken Christian Gonzalez then if you wanted to. But I'm curious. There's a reason they took him at 12 and not 18, right? Because they felt like he wasn't going to be there at 18. So why were you like, how high was he on everybody else's? What is he?
Had to have been high.
Yeah, had to have been. So
it's like it's like a Hampton situation this year. You just never know.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. We could see. Yeah. How high is Hampton on everybody's boards this year? Is he 15? Is he 12? Is he 8? Is he 35? Even
if he's 8, even if say even if he's 8, do you still pull the running back or like a trigger on a running back in a deep running back class? Like he might be the 8th prospect, but is it worth the positional value? That's where the positional value comes in.
Right, and that's where like in the Gibbs class, like you had the Gibbs Bijan, and then there's a huge drop off.
Yep.
Right, and whereas now, there's certainly a drop off from Genty to Hampton. There's a drop off from Hampton to the whoever RB3 is, right? Whether it's going to be Judkins or Henderson or Cam Scadaboo, whoever it may be. I mean, Caleb Johnson.
Yep.
But whoever it is, there's still a stud. So yeah, I would love to see that. We will never ever see it, but I would love to see it. But we'll have it coming soon. We're going to do, I think, an 11 through 30 based off of how this went today. I want to do an 11 through 30 where we keep our top 10. Obviously, there's going to be people that we move, but assume we keep our top 10, we'll move our 11 through 30 around and share those. And then we have a full mock draft with trades coming in about 2 weeks. So keep an eye on that one. That one's going to have weeks of research. We haven't dropped a mock draft in probably about a month from then. So it's going to be a super, super in-depth mock draft that we're going to have coming to you. But other than that, this has been the Sports Geeks podcast. They play, we talk. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.